Good morning. I am Alfredo de Massis. I'm here with Emanuela Rondi, and we are here because we have been asked to share our perspective on wealth in the context of family business. And I want to start then in this very brief video to just say that when we talk and reason around wealth and wealth-related topics in the context of a family firm, of course, money is part of it, but the concept and the notion of wealth goes definitely far beyond money. So a very important thing to consider is that in a family firm, we have different types of wealth. On the one hand, we have financial wealth, which is the wealth that the family in business, that an entrepreneurial family accumulates when it pursues economic and financial goals. Then we have social-emotional wealth, and social-emotional wealth is the wealth that is accumulated by a family in business when they pursue goals that are family-centered and very often non-economic. So, for instance, goals like, giving a job to the next generation, or raising high the reputation of the family in the community where they operate, or ensuring that control is kept in the hands of the family, or maintaining family harmony. These are just some examples of family-centered and non-economic goals, and the scientific literature shows that when families achieve such goals, they accumulate wealth. Plus, there is a third important dimension of wealth, which is intellectual wealth, as I would like to label it, which is the wealth given by the human resources. And now, as we know, one of the most famous framework, one of the most popular one in the family firm literature, has been the framework of the three-circle models. That basically is a framework that is focused on the operational businesses. And basically states that the family firm is a business where you have, three systems: the family, the ownership, and the business. And that's, the framework that is used to reason around family business topic in the context of a family firm. Now, if you want to really deal with wealth and with its different dimensions in a more comprehensive way, we believe that a more holistic perspective is needed. And we have to consider that besides starting and launching operational businesses, entrepreneurial families also launch and start different types of organizations that are used by them to administer their wealth. So, for instance, family offices, family foundations, family business foundations, family academies, family holdings, family investment companies. These are just some examples of organizations that we call family boundary organizations, because these are organizations that are at the boundaries, at the interface between a families and its multiple assets that families in business creates in order to administer their assets. And our view, our model, our framework to consider and to advise entrepreneurial families on how to create and preserve their wealth across generation is a framework that urges them to consider the whole ecosystem composed of these different family boundaries organizations, and also the flows of resources that happen among them. So this is something different from what we are usually, used to think when we consider wealth in a family business, but it's very important. And it's also, again, very important to consider that wealth is composed of these three different dimensions that imply both tangible and intangible aspects. Emanuela, now do you want to maybe share a little bit your view on what are the consequences of wealth as we conceptualized it on family firm decision making?
Absolutely. So we know how much important is the concept of wealth in family firms and how long-term oriented they are. So the idea is that the preservation of family wealth decline according to the dimension that you discussed before, so the socio-emotional, the financial, and the intellectual aspects of the capital that characterize the context of family enterprise in family, it's crucial. And its preservation, it's also influencing how family firms make decisions. The rationale is that a non-financial form of wealth, namely socio-emotional wealth, represents an important endowment that family owners intend to protect, even if its preservation might result in suboptimal decision from an economic perspective. So in investing, for instance, in innovation, the risk of undermining socio-emotional wealth with the uncertainty that entails innovation decision would prevent family firms to invest in research and development, for instance. However, when the family firm aspirations exceed performance, so the performance is below aspirations, the attitude of the family firms might revert. And therefore, if in situation of performance above aspiration, family firms might be more cautious in relation to innovation investments. When the aspiration is below the the performance are below aspiration, they might be even more investing in innovation rather than non-family firms. So we understand how important is this mixed gamble. This is how it's framed between in the relationship between family wealth and socio-emotional wealth, and also in how socio-emotional wealth decisions might affect financial wealth, as well as how financial wealth might affect socio-emotional wealth in the prospective future. So these are key dimensions that are drivers of decision making in the family firms.